The control material function will allow the operator to swap out a material within a scene in their playback device. So to set this up, I'm going to drag a group down into the scene tree. Then I'm going to go back into my primitives tab and drag a primitive down underneath as a subcontainer of this group. I'm going to use a cube here. I'm just going to rotate it and scale it up a little bit so we can see it. Now I'm going to go back and grab a material. So I'm going to go into the server tab, into the M tab, and search for my materials. I'm just going to use this blue one here and drag it down onto my cube. Then I'm going to go back into the built-ins, into the functions tab, and in my control folder, I'm going to drag my control material down onto the container that actually has the material. So once I do that, it actually adds this control object by default onto the topmost group. So when I click on my control material editor to go into the editor, first thing that we have is the field identifier. Since this is our first control function within this scene, I'm going to leave the field ID at 1. It also, in the description, picked up the name of the container, so I can change this if need be. We also have an option for deny browsing upwards, which is off by default. This will limit the amount of folders we can search through. I'm just going to leave it off for now. Next, I'm just going to save this, navigate to a folder where I wanted to save it, and let's just call it material. I'm going to click OK. Next step, we're going to go into Trio to test this out. So once in Trio here, I'm going to come to my import scenes. I'm going to navigate to the folder where I saved that scene. So here you can see I have material, and 2 ways I can import this. I can drag this left, or I can highlight it and click import. Now when it's imported, you get the scene name over here, and you get a small little thumbnail too. So I'm going to double click on this, and it brings up our editor here in the tab fields in the lower left, and also in the upper right in the editing field. So I have my material highlighted. I can just come up here into my folders now and search for wherever I have materials. If I want to swap out a green one, I can just double click on the green one, and it now swaps out that material.